Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called Company Policy. I work for an IT corporation, providing services to oil and gas corporations. My team consists of 10 people, and all of us are scattered across the country, so all of our work and calls are done on Teams and can 100% be handled remotely. My organization has a policy where it's mandatory to work from home 3 days a week. Around 4 weeks ago, I fell sick and decided to go to my hometown to get better. I worked from home for 2 weeks, and HR got to know about it. They called me regarding the issue. I explained the situation, but she was adamant on enforcing company policy. She basically asked me to take leaves if I can't come to the office, and that is what I did. I took the whole 3rd week off. My team lead is an amazing guy. He doesn't care about remote work, as long as work is getting done. And I am critical to some tasks, like QA checks, before we hand over any deliverable. So when I applied for a whole week of holiday, he called me. Without me and QA checks, nothing can be handed over to the client, so he got worried. I explained to him about the chat I had with HR. The next day, I and HR got together on a call. HR was still adamant about the policy. I left the call midway, saying to text me if you guys reach some conclusion, and proceeded to take the week off. Eventually, starting the 4th week, which again I was planning to take off, HR called me. She said that she's allowing me to continue till the end of this month, around 10 days, to work from home. The next story is called Approved Days. My company is very strict about having us work from the office, with only one designated home day during the week. Honestly, it's weird, because it's an advertising agency which deals with social media marketing, something that can be done remotely. They require us to use a vacation day if we want to work remotely on any other day. I wasn't feeling well one day and requested to work from home, even though it was an office day. I assured them I could complete all my tasks from home, but my request was denied. Since it was a scheduled leave day according to company policy, I took the day off and rested. Later, when my workload became urgent, my manager messaged me, asking me to get it done. I politely reminded them that per company policy, since I had requested a leave day, it meant I wouldn't be working. The 3rd story is called Too Involved. Back in the 80s, I was a university student, majoring in English in a smallish school. I was one of a small number of students with my own computer and got to know a lot about word processors, desktop publishing software, and more generally MS-DOS. Many of the professors in the department were just starting to buy computers to do their research and writing, and so I often offered to help them with buying and setting them up, as well as helping them understand DOS and using their word processors. I and a few friends took over editing and publishing the annual literary magazine, and we also started a department newsletter. I was editor of both. I also served as the student representative on the faculty council. I believed in being useful, and it didn't hurt that the profs all offered to be a reference for me in exchange. However, for some reason, one of the professors in the department took umbrage with me for all this. He was usually very friendly to all the other students, but when he'd see me, he'd just brusquely pass by. Then, in my senior year, he became the department head, and that's when things came to a head. One day, one of the professors asked me to format his forthcoming book for publication. There was a paid research associate in the department, but she didn't know how to use desktop publishing software or how to do layout, whereas I, as editor of the magazine and newsletter, had a lot of experience with both. However, she complained to the department head that I was taking her job. She knew he didn't like me, so she was stirring up things deliberately. Well, he came running. Literally, he ran up to me and started berating me in front of the research associate and the prof who asked me the favor. He ranted about the things I was doing. and said, "You are too involved in everything and it isn't appropriate. You are just an undergrad here and I don't appreciate you undermining the research associate." He didn't give me a chance to reply, just turned on his heel and strode back to his office, no doubt feeling good about bullying a student. Cue the malicious compliance. Since he felt I was too involved in everything, I stopped helping everyone. Printer jammed? Sorry. Lost your Word file? That's a shame. Having trouble making a backup of your novel? Wish I knew what to tell you. Need to install that new hard drive? Guess you're gonna have to bring it into the computer shop and pay. Department newsletter, which the president of the university had personally congratulated me on, ceased publication. After a few weeks, with things having ground to a halt, it hit the fan. The other professors all took my side and called for an emergency faculty council meeting. Even though I was the student rep, it was closed door, so I never got to hear what happened. The minutes of the meeting merely said, "Discussion regarding research activities." It lasted for well over an hour, and when it was over, the department head called me and invited me into his office. Once again, he did all the talking, but this time he told me he regretted his harsh words, offered a shamefaced apology, told me that he appreciated all the help I had given his colleagues in the past, and expressed his wish that we could put this unfortunate misunderstanding behind us. We shook hands and parted enemies. Things went back to normal. I continued to do what I always did, and even helped launch a writing tutorial center in the department. It is still operating 35 years later. The last story is called Return to the Office. I work for a Spanish company. It's been like 7 or 8 years and we know each other pretty well. I've known and worked with the CTO, a majority owner, for like 10 years now. He's a cool guy that wants stuff done. Even before 2020, the work from home policy was extremely relaxed. You do you and have things done by the time we need it. We are okay. So when 2020 came, the transition was as easy as it could get. In fact, as a company, and especially on the tech team, we embraced the opportunity and started hiring people from outside the city for a cheaper salary than in the city. But for the people, a higher salary than the one they could get without moving into the city. I even moved out of the city during that time. Since the CTO didn't want to be a sales guy, the company hired a CEO in 2021, an Englishman that came highly recommended and was stationed in his rural house in the English countryside. Looked like a cool, relaxed guy for a while. Once everything ended, he started pushing rather heavily for a return to the office for everyone. He made polls, lengthy emails to everyone about how this fostered relationships and whatnot. He got really pushy, even complaining to the CTO about it. Every time he came to Spain, people that lived around the city would go to the office, just to be there, so the CEO was happy. And then, one time, the CTO decided that he had enough about the whole office mandate and the CEO complaining. So at a random meeting of the tech team, the CTO said, "Okay, next Tuesday, I want everyone in the office. If you live far away, book a train, drive, whatever you have to do. I'll pay, but be here." And so we did. That Tuesday, every single one of the tech team, including people that took a 2 or 3 hour trip to get there, was in the office. Only one person wasn't there, the CEO. The CTO took a picture, emailed it to the CEO, saying something along the lines of, "If you can't lead by example, don't push my people to do things that don't work." And we went to have a relaxing lunch and beers. The return to the office mandate never came to fruition. The CEO was out of the company a year later. We closed the office, since everyone works 100% of the time from home. And to his dismay, the CTO is now CTO and acting CEO, but things are going smoothly. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.